How did you get into music in the first place?
Well, I was in a rock band in high school called the Grapes of Wrath, and I figured the best way to date a cheerleader without being on the football team is being a rock band. I worked undercover. I was an undercover typist.
And I just went into a 2-minute rant about Michael Jackson, that he was getting all this publicity. People were dying for their country. We're a great country, and we're spending all our time talking about a guy who was a child molester.
You've had some controversy with the Muslim screenings or the hearings.
Right. I was the most surprised person in the world after September 11th, seeing leaders in the Muslim community say that it could have been the CIA, it could have been the Jews, it could have been the FBI, refusing to acknowledge what Al-Qaeda had done.
You know, we took the normal art classes.
What kind of grades did you get?
B's. I was never told I had talent.
You're an arthritic?
I have osteoarthritis in my hands, and they get progressively worse every year. It's very, very stiff to bend them. But when I do this and put this in my hand and I start to draw, there is no pain.
People know Bernie and know you as the subway gunman.
One of them just calmly said, "Give me $5." I shot all 4 of them. I decided to shoot as many as I could, as quickly as I could. I'm proficient with a gun. I was raised with a gun, with guns in upstate New York, as all the other boys were.
Let's jump right into it. You are controversial, right? You're subject of conversation all over tabloids.
I believe the tabloids spin that. Obviously, you know, I'm a mom from Long Island. I'm a single parent raising 4 children, and one happens to be a celebrity. Even my older son, Michael, when he was in school and Lindsay was starting out, guys would hold up pictures of his sister. You know, he'd want to go punch him out. You know, it's his sister. You know, it's just what any brother, protected brother would do. You know, we weren't born millionaires. You know, we work really hard. I'm a single mom. I pay my own bills. I get no child support.
There are people that want to hate you. They want to hate you for whatever reason, whether it's something you've done or said.
But, you know, unless you walk in someone's shoes, how can you hate anyone? I don't know you. I'm not going to judge you till I know you. You know, you're okay. I like you now. I'm kidding.
What stands out as the turning point?
The turning point was that when I received a telephone call from then Archbishop Renato Martino, who was the Vatican's ambassador to the United Nations, and he called to tell me that Pope John Paul II had knighted me to the Pontifical Order of St. Gregory the Great. I was knighted a second time by Pope Benedict, which makes me one of the only Jewish men ever to be knighted by 2 popes.
I always say you're the most famous person no one's ever heard of. One of the iconic scenes in American history is the helicopter scene, where President Nixon was waving to say goodbye after the resignation. You were in that helicopter.
That's right. I knew him for 30 years. He was a great man. And at that point, as we were going past the Washington Monument, what do you say to a man who's about to become the former president at noon that day as we were crossing the country in Air Force One? And I said to him, "Mr. President, in 10 years, you will be back." And sure enough, 10 years later, on the cover of Newsweek magazine, there was the picture of former President Richard Nixon with a big headline saying, "He's back."
Where's Barbara Walters? I thought this was The View.
We had to spin it to get you here.
It's the turning point. This is the turning point in my career. I'm counting on you to make me big. That's what it is. There was a time back in 1986 was my turning point when I was working a comedy club in Atlantic City. My parents came to see me, put them in a car on Saturday afternoon. I'm on stage Saturday night at the same club, get a call backstage that my parents were in a fatal car crash.
Oh, my gosh.
Lost my mom the next day, and it was my birthday in 1986.
Oh, gosh.
The media has basically been bashing Republicans for years, but no one came to my rescue. I was thrown out because I was a Republican. When people on my side say, "Well, we won't raise taxes one iota," you're kooky. Told my parents at the Christmas dinner that I was going to run for the Senate. And my mother turned and said, "Oh, that's good. You'll be a good senator." And my father said, "You're going to run for what?" I said, "I'm going to run for the U.S. Senate." He said to me, "Son, you should run to see a psychiatrist."